Welcome to QuickBites, public speaking tips and techniques you can digest in 5 minutes or less. Here's your host, the author of The Captivating Public Speaker, Peter George.
This is my final installment of my 3-part series of using slides to engage your audience. Think flashcards. When creating your slides, think of them as flashcards. This will help you keep them as simplistic as possible so your audience can quickly look at the slide, understand its relevance, and look back at you. More complex slides. An exception to the flashcard rule is when you use a very complex slide. For instance, when showing where pipes carrying chemicals and gases cross, show the green line and make any related points. Then introduce the red line into the same slide, discussing its proximity to the green line. Then bring in the blue line, and so on. Draw on sticky notes. Before creating slides on your computer, draw each of them, no matter how rudimentary, on a 3-inch by 3-inch sticky note. If it doesn't fit or isn't legible, you're trying to include too much on one slide. Get opinions. Getting input from others, colleagues, family, friends, can be a great idea. But don't simply show them the slides and ask them if they think they're suitable. Instead, show the slides in random order, wait a few minutes, and ask the people to write down which slides they remember. The feedback you get might just be eye-opening. Be judicious. When mapping out slides you'll use, ask yourself if they, 1, are necessary in this instance, 2, support the idea you're conveying to the audience, and 3, if they're as impactful as can be. If you answer no to the first question, omit the slide. If you answer no to either number 2 or number 3, then omit the slide or redesign it. Turn them upside down. I learned this many years ago when deciding which photograph to enter into a contest. I was still unsure the night before the deadline, so I called my mentor and asked which one he'd suggest. He didn't answer directly. Instead, he told me to turn each of these 16 by 20-inch photos upside down to see if one stood out. I did as he suggested, and it instantly became obvious which image I would enter. When you can't decide between slides, give this idea a try. Consistency matters. The elements used in your deck should be consistent, including typefaces, fonts, colors, image size, and other aspects of your slides. Slides as notes. People often use slides as reminders of what's next on their agenda. If this is you, that's perfectly fine, but don't rely on them. What will you do when your slides, for whatever reason, become unavailable? You could refer to paper notes, perhaps, but nothing replaces knowing you talk inside and out as a competent, captivating, audience-centric speaker should. Wait before you speak. Most speakers begin addressing a slide as soon as it appears on the screen. This instantly divides the audience member's attention, calling on them to try to look and listen simultaneously, which is close to impossible. So your audience will instinctively rely on their eyes and then their ears. If you're already talking as they first look at the slide, they'll miss what you said. After advancing a slide, give people sufficient time to see and comprehend it. Then after 3 seconds, begin speaking. If a slide is complex, give your audience even more time. Well, that's it. Thank you for listening to this 3-part series on using slides to engage your audience. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them.
Thank you for devouring another episode of QuickBites. Be sure to tune in again for more public speaking tips and techniques. And remember to use the link in the show notes to go to Amazon and check out Peter's acclaimed book, The Captivating Public Speaker.